You ever notice how the truth doesn't run? It plants its feet, waits for the noise to burn itself out, and stands tall long after the liars lose their breath. This is the chapter where the mask slipped and the whole operation stopped looking like concern and started looking like a coordinated takedown. The social worker next door. My case began with a social worker who just happened to live next door to the very people who wanted custody of my son, my ex-husband's sister and her ex-husband, and my ex. He was hiding out inside his parents' house, the same in-laws who wanted my son, and it made my child keep his father's presence in that home a secret. But I didn't raise a liar, and the day my son had to leave me, I held him close and whispered, "Just be honest." My voice cracked. My heart broke, but that was the only lifeline I could give them in the middle of their storm. After my daughter died by suicide, my ex-husband's family decided his parents should get custody of my son. They acted like grief came with a manual, and because I didn't grieve the approved way, they decided I needed to be punished. Rumors traveled faster than reality. Accusations floated through the grapevine like gossip Olympics, and guess who got volunteered as the villain? Meanwhile, the property fraud and smear campaign gave everyone involved something they wanted: control, land, revenge, attention, or the thrill of watching someone break under weight they helped pile on. This wasn't help. This was opportunism dressed in church clothes. My literacy prostitution 101. When my parents were falsely arrested, the first social worker stepped out and said loud, "I think we're at the wrong place, we should be up there," and pointed straight at the real culprits. Even the arresting officer told my parents he knew they weren't the guilty ones. He apologized and said the accusers beat you to the courthouse. The judge learned 2 of those same accusers had recently attacked another woman 2-on-1. Same pattern, same behavior. And he released my mother without bond immediately. The prosecutor refused to touch the case. Why? Because it was garbage. But that didn't stop those people from turning around and installing an encroaching fence across my parents' land, doing the exact thing they falsely accused my parents of: trespassing. You can't make this stuff up. I got passed between social workers like a foul-marked handle with gloves. First the blonde army brat, then the duo, the pair who acted like stress was contagious and grief was something they could catch across the room. They were handed a bogus case and couldn't prove a single allegation because there was nothing to prove, so they manufactured their own narrative. They denied therapy sessions I did attend, filed them as no-shows, then used their own lie against me. They tricked me into a psych exam, stamped a bogus diagnosis on it, and used that mess to take my child. Meanwhile, the judge saw one tear roll down my cheek and decided that meant I shouldn't have visitation. Not danger, not neglect, not harm, a tear. That's the level of professionalism we're dealing with. My court-appointed attorney stood beside me like he was waiting on a bus. Lips sealed, eyes down, no objections, no defense, no backbone. He spoke to me once. One time for the entire case, and Sandy Swan. She sat outside every hearing, watching everything, saying nothing, and showing up only when my case was on the docket, even though she works at the courthouse. But I'm sure that's totally a coincidence, yeah. Okay. When the mask finally fell, my ex-mother-in-law had dementia and believed my son was his father. 20 years backward in her mind, that confusion was convenient for people who wanted my child. And the minute I lost custody, my ex ran straight back to Florida. Not long after, he was arrested when his girlfriend caught him with her 17-year-old daughter. He was convicted and sentenced to 20 years. Meanwhile, they painted me as the unstable one. Sure. Let's go with that. The bigger picture. Instead of letting us grieve my daughter, instead of helping us remove a dangerous person, instead of minding their own business, they ran a smear campaign, jumped into property fraud, and weaponized their connections like toys. But let's be crystal clear, they are not untouchable, they never were. They just lied to and manipulated their own buddies in authority, friends who overestimated their assets, their credibility, and their whole fake persona. The truth is coming, and that godless sense, yes, it's coming.